In progress.
Hello, everyone. Apologies for the delayed start. We had a little bit of technical difficulties, but thank you for your patience. And thank you for joining us.
Thanks, everyone.
Is this Adams or Adams? But that's gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So let me get, I'm going to get the chat opened up here. And as a reminder, we keep everything really private on these calls. So you as attendees are anonymous unless you choose to participate in the chat, which you're welcome to do. But just know that if you do send a chat to everyone, it would show your name. So happy to have you participate in the chat, but just want you to understand that that's how it works, so you don't accidentally participate in the chat and share who you are if you don't want to, because we understand that people are exploring and trying to understand and learn about our products and about the opportunity, and we want to be able to allow you to do that anonymously if you so choose. Okay. Let's give everybody a moment here to get in. Looks like we've got people from all over the world attending, so we really appreciate your time. It's an important time, and it's important for us to make sure that we're using your time and our time effectively together. So we appreciate you spending some time with us today.
So today, I see the names logging in. I see.
Be careful who you announce, because you can see
this
it,
one.
people can't see it.
This one we know is coming
From the chats, though.
I can actually see.
You can see the chats.
I can see
Dawn.
my wonderful cousin in Italy is logged on. So hey, look at that one. Do you see that one? If anybody can see it. Hello from Treviso, Italy. That is my cousin, Katya. A few of you have actually met her in previous life, but we're going to give a shout out to Katya.
Yeah.
You cool with that?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Katya, in a second, Kurt's going to turn your thing on. So while we're setting up here and letting people log in, I do a little introduction of my cousin. Hopefully you can hear me. You're used to things, chaos.
She can unmute herself now.
Yeah, you can unmute Katya if you want.
Hi guys.
Hey.
Hi.
Ciao. Che ore sono in Treviso?
Le 9.
9 o'clock.
9.
It's
Yeah.
easy. Early for you. Yeah.
Yes, but 9 p.m.
9
Not
p.m.
a.m. Which is
You're the
different.
best. Yeah, it was easier to just introduce you or say, hey, on this call than on Tuesday, because that's like 2 a.m. So, yeah.
Yeah, but we can do it, we can do it. Even 2 p.m. a.m. we can do that.
No worries. We have actually a slide, Katya, while everybody's logging in. There's a slide.
I'll share.
Yeah, Kurt's going to share a slide. Every once in a while, when you're like at 2 a.m. waking up going, why is somebody talking about Treviso? I'm going to show you an intro slide so you can verify that maybe these places exist in the world. We're not just making up. Treviso, ladies and gentlemen, is a very real place. Some of you have logged on to calls before hear about it. And we have, when Joe and I talk about our family over there, this is one of them. Katya is genetically programmed like Joe and I, so I warn you. Eccola qua. Katya, can you see that?
Of course.
Okay, good. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you recognize who this person is? It would have been like a younger version of the one that you know. But.
Yeah, your mommy. Oh my gosh. And that place, that pharmacy, guys, is still there. So in case you wanted to join and come to Treviso, I would be glad to welcome you all, of course, over here. And we can go to that little pharmacy and check it out.
They'll be overwhelmed. You can be a chicharrona, Katya. That's, okay, guys, it's slang for like little tour guide. Katya, my very first trip to Italy, she was still in public school. And she was my tour guide. Chicharronina, and she took me on the tour for the first time in my life when I saw the pharmacy where my mom worked and walked the streets of my mom's hometown. I was with my cousin there. So, Katya, we will do a better job welcoming you on probably the Tuesday night call, but I thought it'd be a great chance for them to hear your voice. But hey, you knew my mom quite well in her life. Anything stand out about Zia Gabri to you from our years growing up together?
I didn't catch the last sentence, as you know.
Mi dispiace,
Don't worry.
I have to parla piano.
It has been 20 years since I guys lived in the States, so my English got a little bit rusty. Need to catch up.
It's okay. No, niente. No, I was just gonna say maybe like you. If there is one thing you remember about my mom, it was probably that she was into health and nutrition. No matter at what point in life you would have run into her, so all the way back to the pharmacy, you know.
Yeah, well, your mom was all about health and natural products, and she was. I lived with her, when I was in Utah, and it was unbelievable, seeing how well she would eat, and all of the beautiful fresh products she would make on her own with her, on her little vegetable garden, and she learned everything when she was here in Italy, because we do make our own vegetables and we make our product, and we want to know where our food comes from. So she's, one of that kind.
Beautiful. Katya, I appreciate it. By the way, you guys, ladies and gentlemen on the call, for those of you who are just joining us, this is Joel and my cousin over there, and my mother, Katya was raised in the house where my grandmother was born, ladies and gentlemen. Like, things don't really change. This is an old picture of Treviso, but Katya, does it look anything like this today?
Yeah, it's actually exactly like this. Probably probably one of the stores, like the one in the corner that you see on the left hand side, is no longer like what it was when it was shot. The picture was shot, but it's something else for sure. So if you come over, you're gonna take the same picture, the same place is gonna be exactly identical. Maybe some
Excellent.
more cars probably. Yes.
I think it's amazing to be able to show these kind of pictures and to have this connection with Katya, and obviously with Joe and Gordon, and the heritage of your mom and Katya and your family, because that's really the foundation of where OLIABO comes from and stems from. It's a truly organic, genuine connection to the place and the product and the lives that it's touched for generations in your family, and it's really cool to see that connection.
Yes, certo. And these folks in the room know that when we created the name OLIABO, Katya is part of the team that helped us create the name. I hadn't created a name, but Katya pointed out that it was something a little less reverent than I didn't know. I made up a word that meant something, shall we say, different. Did I come up with like manure spreader, Katya, or something like that?
Didn't quite translate very well like you thought.
That was awesome,
Well,
by the way.
Yeah. Thanks. And Katya, feel free to just, the presentation is going to go in flow now, but we're going to try to see, she promised that she's going to have some caffeine on one of the Tuesday nights and be able to come onto the call. But she is also a mother of a beautiful daughter, Luce, who's probably not asleep yet, right, Katya? So,
yes, she is, of course.
yeah.
Yes, she is. Anyway, I just wanted to say hi to everybody coming from all over the world. It's beautiful to see people from Europe and States and all over. So it's beautiful. So I just wanted to say hi, everybody. And thank you
Thanks,
for having me
Katya.
here.
Grazie tante. Ti voglio
Ciao.
bene.
I love you too. Ciao.
Grazie.
Ciao.
Grazie.
Ciao,
Thanks,
Joe. Ciao,
Cassius.
ragazzi. Ciao, Curtis. Ciao. Ciao, Adam.
Ciao, ciao.
So today we're going to be speaking a little bit about, we're going to go into product and a little bit more detail on product, and then we're going to dive in more to the compensation plan, both from just an overview, but also we want to spend time answering questions. So make sure you put your questions in the Q&A section. Questions in the chat tend to get lost because the chat moves pretty fast and how it flows. So make sure you're adding any questions that you have about products or about the compensation plan in the Q&A section so that we can make sure that we address those appropriately. But let's get into it with some product stuff. Joe, do you want to take us through this?
Yeah, you bet. Let's talk product, and we'll probably spend a little more time today on the compensation plan, because we didn't dive into that on Tuesday night. But we wanted to definitely touch on the product, because this is what we're so passionate about, is the products we're bringing to market right now. Let's go to that first slide, Curtis. This is that picture. I don't know if any of you, this is my wife, Karen, and in Sicily. Katya, I don't know if you've ever been there. This is the Valley of the Temples. And many people don't know this, and I didn't know this actually, that there are Greek ruins in Sicily, and very old ones at that. And these are some of the most preserved ruins in the whole world. So I actually didn't know this until we came across this part of our tour. And it might look like a really touristy thing to do, and maybe it is, I don't know. But our tour guide was very excited to talk. He kept talking about the olive. This is an olive tree that my wife Karen and I are touching. He kept talking about the importance of the olive tree. Every part of this tour, there's olive trees all over the place. You walk it along the path, there's olive trees. This particular one, he says, we don't even know how old this olive tree is. We're guessing it's somewhere between 1,000 to 2,000, maybe even more than 2,000 years old. That building behind there is 500 BC. And I know, it's crazy,
500
right?
BC.
500 BC. Actually, totally separate thing. There's this really cool experience in Sicily. There's a building, it's a Greek temple that was destroyed around 500 BC. They don't have exact dates. But then the Catholic Church came in like 580 and built an entire church over top of the Greek ruin. And so it's the only one of its kind. It's actually really quite fascinating. It's not in this area, but a different part. In any event, this tree, he had us touch the tree, and he said, just touch this tree and feel the power of it. And I thought it was very special. And I was thinking, because the people we were with a group of people. We were doing like a cooking tour. This was earlier in the year, and Gordon and I had been talking about this, and I knew that this was on my mind as I was going through this tour. And so this picture became a little more special to me. And we were developing this at the time, which is kind of cool. And to think back, here we are at the end of October, and we're ready to launch this thing. We're already signing people up, and it's developing very fast, as we've talked about, and we've highlighted this. Curtis and Gordon talked about this on the call the other night, but I'll reiterate: we're launching. We're going to start taking orders sometime in the middle of November, and you'll hear more about that as we go on, and then we'll start shipping towards the end of November. But Gordon always talks about, how do you put it, Gordon? It starts here first. We have to develop it twice, kind of. It starts up here first, and so at this moment in time, while I was touching this olive tree, it was all up here, and it was this conceptual, and it was really quite kind of beautiful. So I thought I'd ask Curtis to throw this into the slides to give you an idea, because some of you are watching this for the first time, and you're starting it up here for the first time too. Okay? And it starts here, and we start to develop, and I love what Donna said. I know Donna's on the call, but I hope you all noticed, she showed her phone. And she talked about the power of visualization. She's already snapped a photo of that image of that first trip to Italy, and she's going to look at it every day. And so it starts up here. Gord also says it starts in your heart too. Of course, it's always in your heart, but it starts here. We have to start it first to visualize it. And so that was kind of cool. So let's go to the next one as we talk about product, because that tree right there, the life force of the olive tree.
That's 1,000-year-old. Did you say 1,000-year-old olive tree?
They don't know. They'd have to cut it or something. They don't want to cut the thing.
Yeah, but definitely with that size, we can only see like a small portion of the tree, but it looked like it had some,
it's huge.
Massive girth there.
Yeah, it's huge.
And it takes them a long time to get to that size.
Yeah.
Hundreds and hundreds of years, if not 1,000 or more.
Well, this one definitely says it's somewhere between 1,000 to 2,000.
Yeah.
We can't even say it's 1,000 to 2,000 here in the United States. Think about that.
Oh yeah.
And so that tree it's old. And
This tree is
producing
old.
olives.
We're folks that are listening. We're in North America, right? We do history class, and it starts in 1776. They do history there, and it's like Katya's telling me, you start at like 500 BC or something.
It's so fascinating. Like when my wife and I were over in Italy a few years ago, and I started having my experience with olives and olive oil and trees, and they were showing us different trees on this farm, and they were explaining like how long they had been there, generationally been producing, and it's wild.
Crazy. And here we are, guys, on the precipice. We're just ready to jump, and it's growing. It's growing quite nicely, and we haven't even added the product to the mix, so we're ready to rock. But the life force of the olive tree, and I like this, how Gord worded that, because Curtis always talks about how we're bringing olive tree derived extracts. So we're taking, of course, the extra virgin, high phenolic extra virgin olive oil, and we're adding it to these capsules, those gel caps on the top, if you're wondering, if you're watching this for the first time. And we're infusing it with rosemary extract. Now, why rosemary extract? Interesting. Our mother, like, we could have chose a few other extracts, okay? Because Italians cook with a lot of things. But if we were to open up to Katya, she'd tell you exactly why everyone uses rosemary. Is a part of it. It's a part of the culture. And in fact, I was telling this to someone over the phone just the other day, and they stopped me and they said, you know, on an airplane, I wasn't feeling well. And your mother, back in the day, probably 10, 15 years ago, 15 years plus, gave me rosemary extract on the plane. I'm like, wow, here I am telling this story. And then they're like, I remember when she gave me rosemary extract. It's very important to the Italian culture, and it was very important to our mother. And so we decided we wanted to infuse it with that. But we have something called olivectin in it. And I know some of you have heard this, but if you're hearing for the first time, please know that that's a TM word. You see that trademark because it's a made-up word. It's our own word, and it's a.
Katya made that one. I think that's Katya's word.
Is that
I
Katya?
think Katya's word. Katya, was that your word? I think you made up that one.
That one is
Yeah?
pretty correct. Let me check.
Olivectin.
Yeah, it was probably late at night. Yeah,
Grazie. All right.
it's a
So
pleasure.
it's
Love
a made up word, and it's our trademark, and it's a proprietary blend of olive leaf extract and olive fruit extract. And again, going to that point about the tree, we're using olive tree derived products, olive extra virgin olive oil. In this particular case, high phenolic extra virgin olive oil. We're using the olive leaf extract, the olive fruit extract. We were just talking to a doctor actually, right before this call, and when we mentioned we were using olive leaf extract, he lit up. Remember?
Oh my God.
He just lit up.
Yep.
He's like, I am so glad you're using olive leaf extract. And he just went on for about 3 or 4 or 5 minutes just on olive leaf extract and how powerful it is. And we'll dive into that on other calls, but just to give you an idea, olive leaf extract is phenomenal for the immune system. Perfect timing as we go into the cold and flu season. Seriously, like, people will be looking, but they don't know 100% that they're looking for olive leaf extract for the immune system. And yet I will say, nutritionally supports the immune system phenomenally. The olive fruit extract. Now, the olive leaf extract has something called olorapine, and although it's pronounced different ways, so if you hear it, olorapine is how we're pronouncing it.
Yeah.
Olorapine.
We found somebody using an alternate pronunciation.
Kind
I'm
of
not
threw
sure.
me
I
off.
think they're.
Kind of threw me off a little
I
bit.
think they're
I
wrong.
wonder if he was reading it.
I think he's wrong.
He's reading it.
Yeah.
But then in the olive fruit, you've got an extract called verbascicide, and you look at the olorapine and the verbascicide, you're going to see very similar studies. Nutritionally supporting the immune system, nutritionally supporting as an antioxidant, very, very high antioxidant value, very high polyphenol content, and everything from brain health to, just goes on and on. It's like amazing. And then we have the Rosa. And again, we're adding to this because our mother, there was never, I will repeat, I don't think there was one meal that we had. Maybe one, I don't even. No, my mom didn't cook with tomatoes.
Yeah.
Tomatoes is a very big part of the Italian culture, and lycopene is an extract that comes very, very high phenolic count extract that comes from tomatoes. It's good for everything. High antioxidant.
Vision, like good vision is probably the number one.
Yeah, and also for men out there, if you're looking for something for prostate health, very nutritionally support them. Nutritionally support prostate health. Grapeseed extract, phenomenal. Also very much part of the Italian culture, the Mediterranean culture, I'll say. But grapeseed and grapes, red grapes particularly, and that's why Gord's calling it the Rosa, because they're both red and natural color, So this is our Prima product that we're bringing to market, and I can't wait for people to start trying this. This is a fantastic product. And
Yeah, the combination. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
No, I was going to say the combination of these things and being able to get them into your daily life in such a simple form factor is going to be a really powerful opportunity for for all of us to take this to the world and to get into our own lives. As I've mentioned on other calls, I've been sourcing my own high phenolic extra virgin olive oil, extremely high in oleocanthal, but I can't wait to have a much simpler way to get that, plus the olivectin extracts and the rosa into my life every day. This is going to become a part of my everyday life. I'm going to add it to my other regimen of the myriad of supplements that I take every morning. And I'm so excited to have this personally, to share it with my family, and to share it with all of you and to the world. And I'm so excited for the natural organic consequence of that is incredible financial opportunity for all of us as well.
I love it. Let's go to the next one. Okay. OLIABO extra virgin olive oil. Man, I am so excited to bring this to market. Oh, by the way, you're wondering about, someone might be asking questions about the pricing on that. Is we've got two pricing, basically. You've got the one pricing for Prima that is going to be without you being on subscription, and it's $120.
Yeah, so one-time purchase on Prima is going to be about $120. Subscription price on Prima is going to be $110. There's various benefits to being on a subscription. One, it's a discounted price. Two, it's an easy way to always keep these amazing quality products in your life. And three, for those who are building a business with OLIABO, it makes it really easy to stay qualified for different rank levels, which we'll get into more with the compensation plan discussion.
That's 110 USD, we should say,
Yes.
US
Yeah.
dollars. Yes. So
So the OLIABO extra virgin olive oil, when we started this project, people started immediately, of course, naturally going out to try to find a good extra virgin olive oil. But as we talk about very openly in our calls, and we've been saying this from the first call we had, and this is being confirmed more and more and more and more and more and more as time goes on. In fact, that doctor brought that up to us today, going, I hope you guys are finding
certified. Yeah.
olive oil, extra virgin olive oil, because sadly it's a little dirty secret in the extra virgin, the olive oil industry. And so we found a source out of Italy, and that we're going to bring, because people are going to look for it anyways. We thought we would bring this, and not to what I want to say about this particular, if you notice, we have their culinary EVOO extra virgin olive oil for everyday use. Now, when it comes to extra virgin olive oil, you've got different degrees, and there's some that have extremely high phenolic count. That's not the kind that you want to be like dosing with a tablespoon.
Or putting on a salad.
And
It's
that's why
very, very, very bitter. And we wanted to come in between, like find that perfect sweet spot. And we think we found it with this. We found it.
Yeah, and that's why we specifically, this is our high quality culinary extra virgin olive oil for everyday use, right? So for putting on your salad, for cooking with, for using for different food purposes and food prep, for baking, for dipping your bread in. It's another way to get the amazing benefits of a good quality extra virgin olive oil into your life every day, right? So
In
we've got
addition
those
to Prima.
components. Yeah, so we've got those components from Prima, which is the high phenolic extra virgin olive oil, the specialized proprietary blend of extracts from the olive leaf and the olive fruit pulp, the other benefits from the rosa with the grape extract and the lycopene. But this is then another way to just further infuse those incredible benefits. The stats in the regular Tuesday presentation that we do, the stats that we go over from those third-party studies, those third-party studies are studying just regular extra virgin olive oil, and those incredible benefits that are shown from those third-party studies are coming from a good quality extra virgin olive oil. So this is another way to get those kind of incredible benefits into your everyday life from a trusted source, from a trusted brand that we're directly sourcing supply chain from beginning to end so that we can get that into your life in an easy way.
Yeah, for example, that stat that Curtis is, one of the stats that Curtis is talking about is, again, we're talking about extra virgin olive oil. We're not talking about even high phenolic extra virgin. This is just everyday use extra virgin olive oil. 50 milliliters a day, which is approximately 2.5 to 3 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. It accounts for, according to the studies that are out there, and this is one study, linked to 30% lower risk of cardiovascular events. Now, that is highly significant because it's the number one killer in the whole world right now, is cardiovascular disease. And so we want to be able to find ways to be able to do this. And I got telling you, I've built up to now where I take a tablespoon first thing in the morning on an empty stomach. I love it, and a tablespoon before bed as well. And I think everyone's going to find that sweet spot for them. But I'm loving my extra virgin olive oil, my OLIABO journey, and it's fantastic. And I have no doubt all those stats. Again, I don't know if we can emphasize this enough. Those stats that you hear us talk about, lower risk of cardiovascular disease, longevity and mortality, lowering risks of all-cause mortality, 11 milliliters a day, which is not even 1 tablespoon. It's about 1 tablespoon.
Yep.
It's a difference of lowering all-cause mortality by 8 to 9%. But that, by the way, my friends, is growing. There was another study that we kind of circulate every morning. We're watching all these educational videos on extra virgin olive oil. One of them came through at 15%. I mean, holy Hannah, 15%. And so we want to find as best a way as possible to get extra virgin olive oil into our daily lives. Now, that doesn't mean you drink like half a liter a day or anything, but you don't need a lot, as it shows with these. Digestive health, huge. Ray Heron and I were talking the other night. I was saying just the digestive health alone is such a big discussion right now that you may have heard me quote this before, that researchers and science, this is all relatively new. I'd say probably within the last 10 years it's becoming more mainstream, although this doctor we were talking about earlier had been talking about it for decades. He was way before his time, but that there's a connection between the gut and the brain. They call it the gut-brain connection, and that the gut is almost like a second brain. And if we get things right in the gut, then it just affects everything. And Ray and I were riffing as we were talking the other night. And I was like, man, just people's gut health improving. And we can have that take place. The amount of lives that will be blessed is enormous. And it's because of, we don't want to get into all the reasons, but there's a lot of reasons why our gut health is messed up, from the foods that we eat on a regular basis, the way that we grow our foods, to the preservatives we're using, the seed oils, it just goes on and on and on. And so we're bringing a solution. There's the challenge and then there's the solution. The brain health is a huge part. It's actually, I was just talking to Dr. Tutla, and some of you have maybe heard his name before, just was talking this morning. And he was talking about how in certain countries, and he named the countries, that brain health has become such a big topic because it's becoming #1 killer in certain parts of the world. It's not all the world. Cardiovascular disease still, that's covered with what we're talking about here too. But brain health is so valuable and so important to note and take. And anything we can do, anything we can make a difference. So again, all of what we're talking is about extra virgin olive oil, and we're bringing it to you. It's coming next month as well. And I'm so excited for you to taste that. And when you consume it, you're going to love this. It's a fantastic product. We love it. So let's go to the next slide.
Couple points of clarification here. The image in the background, somebody asked, it's interesting, it's in a clear glass bottle, but that's just for illustrative purposes, that background image. The actual product is what you're seeing there in that tin. It's actually in a tin, which has then the ability to really preserve the quality of the product. So
yeah, that's a stock image, and it's interesting. We don't use that. The other deck has the other image. I threw that deck together right there 3 weeks ago. That picture, I'm like, I don't even know what that lady's cooking. It looks like it's got ribs in the middle of a salad. She's definitely not Italian, because she'd probably be. But Katya's like, oh my gosh, what the heck is that? So by the way, I could tell Katya just took her mic off mute. She's like, I gotta say something. That's not an Italian meal.
Yeah.
Sorry, Katya, mi dispiace. And also Katya knows, if I hear this is a country that's obsessed with digestion and gut health. Katya has about 1,000 rules she lives by. It's like, why are you eating this with this? I'm like, I don't know. And she's like, you're not supposed to. It's bad for digestion, right? So, yeah. You know it, Katya.
But one thing, there must be some rosemary in it. There must be.
Well, you can see the rosemary right there, eh?
Yeah.
No,
Exactly.
Actually, they're cooking the tomato. They didn't get rid of the thing, the green thing that it's on the tomato. They need to get rid of that, guys.
Only Katya's already noticed that. So yeah,
That's a good one.
we get rid of this image, Katya. It's stricken forever.
another point of clarification is that the with the Prima, right, you're getting a 30-day supply, 30 of these little packets that come with these four capsules, right? The 2 gel caps and the 2 regular capsules. And that's $110 on the subscription per month and $120 for one-time purchases. So that's a point of clarification there. The pricing on our high-quality culinary Evo for everyday use, that is going to be around $35 for one and a 3-pack for about $100.
Yeah, we're finalizing all that right now, but yes, phenomenal. So we're so excited for you to be able to get your hands on a good quality, our high quality OLIABO extra virgin olive oil, which again, going back to all those stats, have fun researching that, by the way, just extra virgin olive oil. So we're going to do skincare as well, antimicrobial, like the benefits of extra virgin olive oil on the skin is enormous. And someone telling me this morning, in a clinical setting, that they teach people to kind of put it on their skin, that it has not just the antimicrobial, the hypoallergenic, it reduces inflammation, antioxidant, the skin barrier repair. But this particular researcher was telling me that it's great to protect your skin from the elements, and it's naturally found in there. So their skincare is going to be so wonderful. Let's go to the next slide. Flex. So the timing on this is still being massaged right now, probably later this year or early next year.
It's in flux.
It's in flux. Yes. That's good. So this is, the more we dove into extra virgin olive oil, the more you realize there is a chemical compound in there called oleocanthal, naturally found in extra virgin olive oil. And this oleocanthal is, well, as you can see here, acts as a similar pathways as ibuprofen. If you were to Google it, just Google that word, you're going to probably come across statements like it's Mother Nature's ibuprofen, supporting healthy inflammatory response naturally, right from the olive itself. And it is incredible. We're mixing it with, by the way, what we're using in this particular formulation is a very, very high phenolic extra virgin olive oil. And we're mixing it with mangosteen pericarp oil that also has that healthy inflammatory, anti-inflammatory support. And we're mixing it with the olivectin, those extracts that we're talking about, the leaf and the fruit, and then squalene, naturally found in the olive. And we're also including in that frankincense. This is phenomenal. I can't say that enough. I use it every single day. I'm loving this. We're getting great results with people who are testing it in small amounts. And we're really excited to bring this to market. So, and then we're going to have Treviso. Gord, maybe you want to talk about this a little bit. This is named after where Katya is right now doing this call.
Yeah, it's named after the town where my mother is from. It's interesting. I rarely get the opportunity to point something out to my cousin about Italian culture, but when I found out that Treviso meant 3 faces, I called Katya and I'm like, "Hey, Treviso, 3 faces," and she goes, "I didn't know." This was like, what, 10 years ago? 10 anni fa, Katya?
Yeah.
Yeah, I told you, huh? That was me. That was me. Okay, so I told her that, like, well, anyway, Treviso just means 3 faces. There's a statue, there's a mug that I show that Katya gave me with 3 faces on it. But there was one night that Katya and I were working on naming and stuff, and there was a 3-part, there's the 3-part system. There's a facial serum, there is a cleanser and a moisturizer, and 3 products, 3 faces. I'm like, eccolo qua. Katya and I were like just geeking out, high-fiving over the phone. And so anyway, yeah,
That was fun.
imaging still, yeah, it was funny, huh? So these are products that will be coming towards our goal is towards the end of the year, early for the early new year. And it's just a matter of scheduling production. It's a little bit complicated when you're doing something new, so anyway, it's good.
True.
Yep.
Well, I'm going to answer a couple of the questions on product, and then we're going to jump into comp plan. Okay, so a couple more questions on product. The capsules, are they vegan? So there's kind of a dual thing going on there. So let me get back to that. So The olivectin and the rosa capsules are vegan. The HP Evo capsules with the high oleocanthal HP Evo and the rosemary, they are not. Part of the reason why is because the testing that we've been doing, because of the high phenolic value of the extra virgin olive oil, high in oleocanthal, in those soft gel caps, it actually has an intense reaction where it can dissolve the wrong kind of soft gel caps too quickly to where you don't want that, a bottle or the tin, right? You don't want a tin of those sitting there and then after a couple months, it's dissolved those gel caps into just goo. And so unfortunately right now, we don't have a great solution that is not just a regular kind of a soft gel cap. So they're just normal soft gel caps. They are not vegan.
It's a small amount of animal collagen, but like what was pointed out too is that I think people will probably end up like, if you're super strict about it, you can chew it. It's not a lot of animal content, but I understand.
Yeah, but so we're still in, we're testing other solutions that might work for that. But the olivectin and the rosa, those are.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
And I want to answer something that maybe is on your questions. I don't know that's coming through, but the ingredients. Gordon talked the other night about the packaging and how we're going to pivot for a different packaging for the first, I don't know, couple weeks, couple months, whatever it ends up being. But the ingredients of everything, it's all coming from the Mediterranean areas, coming from Italy and Europe. And so just know that all these ingredients we're not sourcing these on US soil. They're being manufactured here, yes. But that olive oil, for example, that extra virgin olive oil, that OLIABO, that's an Italian. In fact, it was kind of fun. The C of A's that came through were in Italian, which
the certificate of authenticity that you'll get with these, the COA.
That was kind of a certificate of analysis that were coming through is all in Italian. I thought that was kind of fun. We had to do a translation on that. But so in any event, I just wanted to mention that.
Yeah, that's great. Okay, so introducing OLIABO's Premio Pay compensation plan. So what I'm going to do here is go through some of these slides, and then I want to get into questions. For those that have, hopefully you've had a chance to watch the little 8-minute intro video. We'll go through some of the same content from that and some new content here, and then we'll go and open up for questions. So Premio Pay, it makes it easy for anyone to get started with OLIABO. We have no enrollment fees and no purchase requirements for level 1 commissions. So that makes it easy for anyone to get started, even those who are new to network marketing or those who just want to test the waters. They can jump right in, start referring others, earn commissions, rank up to generate bigger checks month over month and year over year. That's why we call it the power of simplicity. Premio Pay is built upon the following core principles. First, we keep it simple because everybody needs to understand how the compensation plan works and be able to maximize the opportunity. So if it isn't simple, that's challenging to do, but we keep it simple. Second, we don't use any word games. There's a lot of compensation plans out there that I'm sure many of you have experienced and are familiar with where they use fun word games like we pay out up to or as much as. And those kind of word games are used to confuse the fact that their actual payouts are much lower. Third, transparency. We think it's very important that the things that we're doing with Premio Pay and at OLIABO are transparent and that we're accountable so that everyone can understand exactly how commissions are earned and paid out and distributed. Fourth, reliable stability. We understand that the income you might build with OLIABO could become an important part of feeding and taking care of you and your family. And we take that responsibility seriously. So we've worked very hard to create a compensation plan that can be stable and secure in the months and years to come so that it can be reliable and stable for you to be able to build a business on. So we understand that it needs to be easy to get started, easy to share, and easy to scale. And so we've created Premio Pay to make all that possible. Here are some of the unique features of Premio Pay. First, we provide weekly, monthly, and quarterly commission opportunities. That makes it easy to generate income quickly, to generate income stably, and to have bigger check opportunities quarterly. Next, we have 50% of every CV unit that we pay out. And we make sure of that by using something called dynamic compression, which is a key component of Premio Pay. Dynamic compression makes sure that each level within the compensation plan gets paid out. In a compensation plan that doesn't have dynamic compression, and most don't, and even those that say they do it wrong, if a brand rep in an upline structure isn't qualified for a certain payout level that they would otherwise potentially get, then breakage occurs and that payout level goes back to the company. However, with dynamic compression, the system searches upline for the next qualified rep to make sure that every single level of payout gets paid, eliminating breakage.
This is key. Can I throw?
Yeah.
Since the last time we talked about this, dynamic compression is something that is very special, and I've noticed that the last couple of years where the industry has had I would say backpedaled. It is devolved. Is that the word? It's gone backwards. I've noticed that the people are starting to they started to use dynamic compression and saying that it was something that it's not. They Frankenstein the meaning of it. Dynamic compression at the heart of it means that every PV unit is paid out at the 50% level.
Yep.
And if it's not that, and I thought, oh my gosh, this is bad. It's got to the point where people are calling things that aren't dynamic compression. This just means no breakage, guys. So yeah, when Curtis said people are using it incorrectly, they are absolutely using it incorrectly. And sadly, I think it's been done purposefully. So anyway. Yeah, not that there's too many things to worry about in life, but that is another one. Like people take word meanings.
True. Again, it's word games, right?
Yep.
So we've got easy price points to make it simpler for you to track your commissions and also to make it easy for our products to stay affordable so that as many people as possible can benefit from them. Next, we have minimal CV splits. CV split, that's the difference between the product price and the commissionable volume being paid out. Unfortunately, what we've seen across the direct selling space, network marketing space, is that huge CV splits have become the norm. And that's just not okay. Next, we've got global bonus pools. So global bonus pools basically means a percentage of all orders is contributed and then distributed among qualified brand reps through these global bonus pools. They're a big deal and a lot of fun. We'll get into those later. Our minimal structure requirements make it easier than ever for you to qualify and rank up to earn more opportunity and to expand your business with OLIABO. Here's some general terminology. We're not going to go into this, but there's the intro video that I talked about earlier goes into this, and you can check that out. You can email us at support@oliabo.com if you'd like us to send you a link to the introductory compensation plan video, and you can review these there. The simplicity of me plus 3. The Premio Pay plan, we keep it simple. Everybody, we've all got at least 3 people in our energy orbit that would either be interested in building a business through the OLIABO opportunity or who would love to benefit from the incredible products that OLIABO is bringing to market. And it only takes 3 people to establish a solid foundation and begin to build your OLIABO business. Let's talk about sprints. So sprints are Premio Pay's initial commission opportunity. Commissions on all initial or first orders are paid weekly through this sprint structure. So when an enrollment of yours places their first order, their initial order, you earn the sprint level 1 payout. There's no purchase requirements or rank qualifications for you to earn this level 1 payout of 25%. Sprint level 2, this is the double down. This is a way that upline qualified sponsors can earn 10% on the second level sprint bonus of an initial purchase from someone that was enrolled by a team member that this upline sponsor personally sponsored. Dynamic compression works here as well. So if an upline sponsor doesn't meet the sprint level 2 qualification, then the payout dynamically compresses up to find the next upline sponsor that is qualified. And the qualification there for that sprint level 2, it's 200 QV in personal order volume for that month. So the column on the right here, it shows an example of how an initial Prima order would kind of flow up through this example. So a Prima order has 100 CV on it, commissionable volume. So the sprint level 1, if that was somebody that you personally enrolled, then you would get that $25 payout on the weekly payout from that initial order. The sprint level 2 would get $10, 10% or $10. The remaining 15% would be split into the incentive pool 5%, the global bonus pool 5%, the elite bonus pool 5%, for a total payout of $50 in this example, which is 50% of the CV. So that's how sprints work. Again, all initial orders, all first orders are paid out weekly through this sprint structure. The baseline, this is our monthly commission opportunity. So after all initial orders are paid through the sprint, all reorders are paid through the baseline structure. This is your path to monthly residual income. So here's where team building and building consistent customer reorders really starts to pay off. The top of the chart here, you can see the Premio Pay ranks. Ranks are how you advance to unlock deeper payout levels. Every rank advancement unlocks greater earning potential from your organization's activity up to 8 levels deep. Now, each rank has certain monthly qualifications that need to be met in order to achieve that rank and unlock the associated payout levels. People always want to know, they're like, well, how do I go from rep rank, which is that first rank there on the left, to a Premio? How do I do it? Well, you do it by not focusing on how to go from rep to Premio. You do it by focusing on how to go from rep to Brava rep, then how to go from Brava rep to Kappa, then how to go from Kappa to Quinto and beyond. Because each step in the process helps you develop the skills, the network, the connections, and the understanding to be able to advance to the next. The other important thing to do in this whole process is to make sure that you're building good relationships with other leaders. We've got a ton of leaders that are already involved at OLIABO, and they've been doing it successfully for decades, performing and succeeding in the network marketing space, and they are happy to share their experience to help you succeed. So it's important to build relationships and learn from other people. That's how you go from a rep rank to a Premio. It's just step by step, building those relationships, learning from other leaders who've been doing this successfully for decades. So you can see how at a rep, you've got that level 1 that's unlocked. When you move up to a Brava rep, it opens up level 2. When you move up to a Kappa, it opens up level 3. Oops, let's see here. So the levels represent placement position of the people within your organization. So for example, level 1, these are people that are positioned or connected directly to you. Level 2 are people directly connected to your level 1s. Level 3 are people directly connected to your level 2s, and so on. So let's look at an example. So you can see here, these are the different qualifiers. There's only 4 qualifications. There's only 4 qualifications that it takes to move from one rank to the next. So there on the rep rank, on the far left, the rep rank, the only one of the 4 qualifications that matters to be a rep is just having an active account. Just as we've talked about before, there's no enrollment fee and there's no purchase requirements for level 1 commissions, both in the sprint and in the baseline. So a rep rank has no qualifications other than an active account to be able to receive those level 1 commissions. A Brava rep, the only qualifier is personal QV of 100 per month. So that's like 1 pre-month. A Kappa is that same 100 QV in personal order per month, but then it introduces some initial basic organizational structure. And we'll get into that in an example here. So there's basically 3 elements of the organizational structure. One is active personal enrollments. Those are people that you personally enrolled or sponsored into OLIABO. And that can be customers or other business builders, brand reps, affiliate influencers, wellness professionals. Placed teams is the next organizational qualifier there. That's 3 teams, each with 100 GQV in the Kappa example. Now teams, it can be placed either by you, or it can be somebody placed from an upline sponsor that placed somebody on your front line, and then that person builds a team. It doesn't have to be your own personal enrollments that build teams that count as your qualifying teams. The 4th thing that is the organizational requirement is GQV, total group qualifying volume. For Kappa, that's 1,000. So let's look at an example here of Kappa. So we've got Tina. Tina's the brand rep in this example. So Tina, she's working on qualifying as a Kappa because she wants to unlock that third level of commission. And so she's working on Kappa. So the first requirement, that number one check mark right there next to Tina, does she have personal QV equal to 100? Yep. She's got that because Tina is on a Prima subscription, so she's good there. Second requirement, Tina needs to have 3 personal enrollments that she's sponsored that can be customers or business builders, each with 100 QV. Yep, she's got that. She's got Susie, Lewis, and John, all with 100 QV. So check. Second one, check. Third, 3 teams, each with a GQV of 100. She's placed Susie and Lewis frontline to herself. She's placed John with Susie, but one of Tina's upline has placed Joanna, that blue rep there, has placed Joanna frontline to Tina, and Joanna counts as one of Tina's teams. So she's got that third requirement, 3 teams, each with GQV of 100. The fourth requirement, her total organizational volume, including her own personal volume, needs to be 1,000 plus. She qualifies for that. She's met all 4 rank requirements for Kappa, and so she qualifies for Kappa. That's basically the exact same thing that needs to happen on any of these other qualifications, but it's just different amounts, right? Different amounts to move up to Quinto. It's the same qualifications, personal QV, active personal enrollments, placed teams, and their volume, and your overall organization volume. Same thing with Venti. It's just different amounts at different ranks. But it's those same 4 things. That's all you need to focus on, is those same 4 things, so that you can rank up from one rank to the next, unlocking deeper and deeper levels of payout. Okay, so now let's break down the commission percentage across all 8 baseline levels. Now that we understand how to advance through the ranks, what the ranks are, how to advance up through the ranks, let's look at the commission percentages on each of the levels and show how Premio Pay rewards both team building and customer-focused sales. So the baseline provides 2 parallel commission streams, depending on whether a reorder comes from a business builder, like another brand rep or an affiliate influencer or a wellness professional, or if a reorder comes from a customer. Remember, baseline is all about reorders. So let's look at how this works. So a builder, that refers to somebody who's building an income with OLIABO. So that includes brand reps, affiliate influencers, or wellness professionals. So if you've enrolled somebody that is a builder, they're another brand rep, affiliate influencer, they're building an income with OLIABO, their reorders generate commissions through this structure. They get on level 1, 5%. On level 2, 5% payout. On level 3, a 10% payout. And then the other levels, 5, 5, 5, 5, right? So this is how those payouts will work. And you get qualified for each level based upon your rank, right? So reorders from builders, they reward leadership and team building with bigger commission percentages deeper in the pay levels. So you have these bigger percentages as you go deeper, they remain these large percentages, whereas now we're going to see the customer example. When you sell to a customer, this is somebody that's just consuming product for personal use. They're not building a business. They're not collecting a check. They just love the product and they're consuming product. So the level 1 payout for your personally enrolled customers or those customers that are placed frontline to you is 25%. 25%, that's a huge payout. Now, the reason we want to do that is because we want to reward customer-focused sales, because that drives additional volume, it boosts overall QV throughout the organization, it increases contribution to the global bonus pool, and it helps everybody in the Premio Pay plan. Then you can see that the levels 2 through 8 payouts are 2.5%, the level 3 is 5%, and then 2.5%. So this rewards customer-focused sales. The builder reorders reward team building and leadership. Because ultimately, no matter who reorders, you can still see that it all totals up to 50% payout of commissionable volume, 45% paid out through the 8 levels, 5% contributed to the global bonus pool. So this is a unified way that allows customer reorders to be rewarded and team building and leadership to be rewarded with deeper commissions or larger commission percentages and deeper payout levels. Premio Pay combines network marketing, influencer marketing, wellness professional compensation in one powerful system that's never been done in this unified way before, that makes it easy for team builders, influencers, casual product sharers to all succeed together in a plan that benefits everyone. So let's walk through a baseline reorder payout example to see how it all comes together. So here on the left, you can see the levels, and then you can see the different ranks, and then you can see what the breakdown is of the actual payout amounts, whether it's a reorder that came from a builder or a reorder that came from a customer. So let's assume, we're going to assume that in all of these examples that everybody is qualified at the level that they need to be qualified at to get the payout. So dynamic compression is not needed. So this is going to be, let's say let's use the builder example at first. So the green column shows how a reorder of Prima would pay out if made by a builder. So the initial upline rank or above, so they would get that first level 1, 5% or $5 payout. Level 2 would go to a Bravo rep or above, 5% or $5. Level 3, a Cap or above qualifies for that, 10% or $10, and so on. Quinto, Venti, and Premio each getting 5%, $5 on those other levels. So baseline, you can see on the builder pays out $45 or 45%. Same example, one reorder of Prima from a customer, somebody who's only consuming product, not building. So a customer reorder of Prima worth 100 CV, we're going to pay out 50% of that. The first level, if you're that first level that sold to that customer, that reorder, 25% or $25. And then the rest goes up 2.5%, $2.50. That level 3, 5% or $5, and so on up through the other levels. Again, paying out a total of $45 or 45% through the 8 levels, with 5% or $5 left over to contribute to the global bonus pool. Some people have already started to identify how, wow, if I have an affiliate influencer that's mostly just going to focus on direct customer sales, I'm going to put them on my level 2, because then all of their customer sales, I'm going to get paid out at 5%. The affiliate will get 25% for being the level 1, but they'll get paid 5% by having that affiliate, all their customers, on the level 3. So there's a whole bunch of ways to make this work really effectively on both sides, and to make it really easy for affiliate influencers, brand reps, wellness professionals to all be able to play in the same place at the same time, contributing and supporting and succeeding together. Okay, let's take a look at horizontal compression. So horizontal compression automatically helps you qualify for higher ranks by intelligently grouping your smaller teams and level 1 customers into a single combined team to help you achieve your highest rank qualification possible. It's not actually moving any positions, it's just for the calculation of your rank qualification, it calculates using this horizontal compression method. So here's how it works. So first, the system will review your total group qualifying volume, and it will determine your highest potential rank based upon that. So this example here is using a Premio, for example. So the brand rep in this example, their total group qualifying volume is over 50K. And so the system first identifies, oh, okay, they could potentially qualify at a Premio. Let's see if they have the other qualifiers, or if I can help it have the other qualifiers to qualify them at a Premio. So the second thing it looks at is your team and customers by GQV are ranked. So it says, okay, your team 1 is your highest volume team, and that team in this example has a GQV of team volume at 25,000. Your second highest team in this example is 6,500. It then says, okay, those are their 2 top qualifying teams. Let me take all the other teams and frontline customers and combine them into this combined team, because to qualify to Premio, you have to have 3 teams, 2 of those at 20,000 or above, 1 at 5,000 or above in GQV. So let me take those other teams and the customers and see if a combined team will be enough volume to make that qualifying level possible at Premio. So without horizontal compression in this example, this brand rep would only qualify at a Venti rank, which isn't only, I mean, Venti's great. But without horizontal compression, this brand rep would technically qualify as a Venti, right? But with horizontal compression, the grouping of the smaller teams and the customers into one combined team creates a team of 20,000 GQV, which qualifies as the 3rd qualifying team needed for this rep to reach Premio. Their team 1 is at that 25,000 level. This calculated combined team now is at 20,000 GQV, and that team 2 that they already originally had is that 6,500, which meets the 5,000 level qualifying requirement. So horizontal compression automatically takes this rep from a Venti to a Premio.
And it just happens.
It just happens. This will happen every program. Yeah, it will be. It's programmed so that this automatically happens every month when the calculation occurs. So it's a really simple way for you to not have to worry about, oh, am I building too wide, or do I need to focus more on deep? Like, just build. The reality is that Me+3 keeps things simple, and that's great. And you can build a big organization with just 3 teams and depth, and that's great. And do that if that's what works for you. But those who will have the biggest opportunity to win the most are those who can build wide and deep. And horizontal compression makes sure that all of your teams and all of your customers are accounted for in generating higher rank and increasing your rank position. So let's jump into the global bonus pool. This is our quarterly commission opportunity. It's a big deal and an important goal that everyone should strive for within building an OLIABO business. Each calendar quarter, 5% of OLIABO's global commissionable volume is added into a pool that's then divided pro rata among qualified leaders being Premio rank and above. So you want to always be working towards Premio rank or above to be able to participate in the global bonus pool. Not all companies have a global bonus pool, but those that do, those other plans and companies that do have a global bonus pool typically contribute 1 to 3% to that global bonus pool. So Premio pays huge 5% global bonus pool is a game changer.
They're going to be big checks.
Big checks. Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be pretty incredible. So let's talk about reward trips. A few minutes ago, when we touched on sprints, we talked about how 5% of all initial orders through the sprint gets contributed to an incentive pool. Those incentive rewards will include a variety of things, including reward trips to various places throughout the world. Each reward trip will have specific qualification requirements that will be announced along with the trip. Now, we've touched on the idea that our first reward trip will be to Italy. We're working on the qualifications for that now, and those will be announced in the near future. Reward trips are an exciting part of the OLIABO experience. Incredible memories and lasting friendships are built and developed on these trips. They offer important chances to also connect with top leaders and from corporate executives. It's a powerful opportunity and motivation to grow your business and to help your team leaders do the same. So be sure to learn about the reward trips, qualify for them, and inspire your team to follow your lead.
And I'm going to add, I mentioned at the beginning, but kind of take a bit of a tip from Donna there and stick it on your screensaver or stick it on your wherever, your mirror in the morning or whatever, just kind of reminding yourself that that's what you're shooting for.
Yeah, put yourself in the picture. Like if you're looking at that every day, it'll drive you nuts if you're not able to accomplish.
Yeah, it's true. And what happens is it just naturally things start to fall into place as we remind ourselves of what we're dreaming of and wanting to shoot for in our goals.
It's true. Well, let's start to wrap it up. Thank you for bearing with us. I think we probably overestimated the time we would need to go over product in more depth and comp, so we might split those up next time. But thank you. we're going to wrap this up now and then jump into some questions. But the OLIABO experience, it's important to understand. It's a powerful story, truly unique products. We're building an empowered community on a proven system and model with a compelling compensation plan that's going to be amazing. And we've got the experienced team to bring it all together and make this happen. And the timing is incredible. So, are you ready for the Renaissance?
Andiamo.
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 So, and I'm going to step out here because I have a call, believe it or not. Cousin, stay awake just for a little bit longer, Katya, because you're the call that I have to make right now. So I see you're awake. I just saw you on mute. Okay, I will talk to you. I don't just in a second, but I just was pointing out, since Katya and I are texting, it's a little random that I'm wearing a jersey right now. And for international folks, our little team, the Toronto Blue Jays, are in the World Series against LA. So I don't usually wear a hockey.
It's very appropriate today.
Yeah. So
Okay. Thanks, Gordon.
all right, thank you guys. I will step up.
If you have questions, throw them into the Q&A section, and I'm going to start going through those right now. So please throw any questions you've got in there. Touching back on products, somebody's asking about price of Flex. Right now, we're aiming around $50 for about a month's supply of Flex. We're really working hard to make sure that we can get you the right, a good price point, but the componentry there has to be high quality in order for it to be effective. For those that have had a chance to try the samples of Flex, it's an incredible product. And in order to have an incredible product, you need incredible ingredients and incredible componentry. And so we're aiming for about $50 on that, $50 US. How much QV is a monthly subscription? So that will be different for the different products. On Prima, for example, though, a one-time purchase of Prima at $120 will have 100 QV. But the subscription, which will be $110, will have 110 QV. That's something we haven't touched on much here, but subscriptions will always have bonus QV on it. So whatever the QV amount is for a one-time purchase, you'll always have about 10% or more extra in QV that gets contributed for subscription orders. And that just builds for everybody upline, right? So it basically is a QV bonus on subscription orders. Okay. Yes. So customers frontline stay at the sprint pay of 25%. Yeah, essentially that's what that is, right? So customers, those who are just consuming product,
Not sprint pay.
not
So I'm answering
That's
the
true.
question too.
That's
So
true, because-
second month, it's gonna roll into the baseline pay. That's important, an important factor.
well, and the difference there is that one is weekly versus one is monthly. That's the difference. But it's the same 25% as far as the actual payout amount. But sprints are paid weekly. Baseline is paid monthly. So the initial order will be paid 25% weekly. Customer reorders will be paid 25%, but on the monthly payout schedule.
But if
then
you
the
sign
other
up as a
levels-
distributor, if you said, I sign you up as a distributor,
Right.
my first payout from you is
Is
going
a
to be a sprint.
Correct.
But then when it triggers the next month,
That's true.
then it'll be
That's true.
paid out in the unilevel.
Yeah,
Yes.
so everything that's
All-
after the initial order is gonna then roll over to the baseline, whether you're a customer or a business builder. Your second order and beyond is gonna roll into the baseline. And your percentages from level 2 down on your customer orders is also gonna change because a level 2 payout through customers is gonna be for a sprint 10%. However, you noticed in the slides that Curtis was presenting, it's gonna roll over to the baseline and you're gonna start to see those 2.5 and 5% at levels 2 through 8.
But those frontline customers, they will stay at that 25% payout on the baseline, but paid monthly, not weekly, like the sprint. Let's see here. Do teams 3, 4, 5, 6? Yeah, so teams represent a team leader who is frontline to you and the growth that's happening from them, the team and organization structure that's happening from them. So teams, you can't have a team that, if you've got, let me try to think. So the question is, do teams 3, 4, 5, 6 have to be frontline? A team is not a team qualifying to you if it's not frontline to you. It's not your team. It would be your downline's team if it was somebody building from them, right?
But important key here is sponsor versus placement. I've been getting the question a lot of, How many people do I need sponsored? How many teams do I need? And is that sponsored? Is that placement? When we refer to your teams, those are the individuals that are placed frontline to you. When you're looking at the compensation plan overview document, you're going to see that they're in the requirements, and Curtis went over this a minute ago, there's 4 requirements to qualify. Part of that is that you have to have personally sponsored individuals, but all the way up to the Premio level, you need 5. So at Premio level, you need 5 total sponsored individuals with 100 QV. So what this means is even if you get started today and sponsored a bunch of individuals, place them down within your first 3 levels, and let's say it comes down to it in 6 months from now, you're like, shoot, I don't have my 5 individuals that are personally sponsored with 100 QV. Those can be customers. You can bring in brand new customers and have them sponsored by you, and those will count for the sponsorship portion. The teams is all about your placement. The teams we talk about that have to have a certain amount of volume and structure to help you qualify, those are all the people who are placed frontline to you.
Yeah, so they're separate things, right? Each of the qualifiers, they work together, but they're 4 separate things. Your personal orders, right? Your personal volume in a given month. And each rank has different qualifiers. For a rep rank, the first rank, there is no personal order requirement whatsoever. So each rank has a personal order requirement or not with the rep rank. They have a personal enrollment, your personal sponsors that you enroll. Your teams, which don't have to be your personal enrollments, they can be somebody placed on your front line by upline, right? It's not connected. And then your overall organization volume, right? What if the combined teams, so the combined teams and the customers are bigger than your biggest initial leg? It would essentially replace that and push your top 2 legs that were your natural top 2 legs. It would become your first top leg, and that would then bump up your qualification if that then leveled you up based upon the rank qualifications that then helped you meet. Let's see here. There is a video. There's the short video that goes over. People are asking if there's a video for this pay plan. There's an introductory video.
I put it in the answered chat. So
Gotcha. So if you look at the answered chat or at the answered questions, there's a link to that video. It's also linked from the back office. You can also email us support@oliabo.com and we can send that to you. We're also working on an expanded version that's more in depth, kind of like what we've done over here, that will be very much more in depth and detail oriented. So we're working on that as well. Another product question, what's the shelf life for the caps? So the capsules will be very well protected, both within the outside packaging in the tin that they'll come in and their internal packaging and within the capsules themselves. So we don't know exact shelf life, but it will be significant.
It'll be 2 years.
Is it about 2 years?
And the interim packaging that we've discussed, that will also be the same. It's not going to be any difference with there.
Yep. And then if you go to OLIABO, people are asking about the socials. If you go to OLIABO.com, you can see our socials link there if you want to just do that, and you can then access and follow us on social media that way. So how do we differentiate between rep and customer if reps don't have to pay a membership fee up front? Yeah, that's a good question. And what we're doing is the way that it happens is that the system identifies that based upon whether somebody just purchased product or whether they specifically enrolled as a rep, right? So we're working on the replicated sites right now. So oliabo.com/your name, right, would be your replicated site, or your username, which could be something different than that if you chose something different. If you shared that with a customer or a brand rep, they could go see your replicated site, they could shop. If they check out and buy product, that would just set them as a customer. However, there'll be a little button that says become a brand rep. If they click that button, they would then enroll as a brand rep. You could also send them your back office link directly and they would enroll as a brand rep. So that's how it'll happen. It'll be very simple so that those who are just buying product will just buy product and will be categorized in our system as a customer and give you the associated payouts. If that customer later wants to change and become a brand rep, that's fine. They can switch into a brand rep, and then any of their reorders moving forward would switch into that builder line of payout structure with those commission percentages. Customers will not have the ability to build. They won't have a build link. So strategically, what you could do is if somebody's not sure about whether or not they want to be a builder, or if they're just, they're going to take a month or so to decide, get them in as a customer, get them ordering product. You'll get that higher first level commission. And then when they want to switch over into a brand rep, they'll flip into a brand rep and they'll start building. And then the commission structure will work and allow you to have that depth and allow them to build. Let's see here. So somebody asked a question about Prima 2 capsule. I'm guessing it says 2 capsules enough, and I'm guessing they mean from the high phenolic extra virgin olive oil. This is an important thing to understand. So in a lot of the studies that we've shown, these independent studies, it talks about, this amount or that amount or this amount. Amounts are important, but not as important as the componentry, the quality of the componentry, and the concentration of the componentry going into the amounts you're taking. So the HP Evo that we're putting into those soft gel caps is a very high quality, high potent HP Evo that's also high in oleocanthal. Every HP Evo is different, just like every Evo is different. And the amounts and the qualities of the compounds and componentry within them is different. So we're very focused on the sourcing that we have to make sure that it's a high polyphenol count, not just high polyphenols overall, but high in oleocanthal specifically, right? So it's the amount and the quality of the componentry going into the amount of whatever it is that you're taking. So yes, that's important. And it's the same with those extracts, the olivectin extracts. The proprietary processes that our partners use to get those extracts out create high levels of the compounds in that extract, right? And in that olivectin blend that we put together. It's not just mashing up olive leaves, which people have done for thousands of years, right? They'll grind up olive leaves and use it in things. And there's good compounds and componentry that you get out of that, but it's not the kind of concentration that we're talking about.
Sorry, I'm trying to type answers
good,
at the same
you're
time
good,
as you're
you're
doing
good.
all this because there's a lot of questions, which is good.
We're going to answer more questions. Feel free. Thank you for staying here and participating. Feel free to drop whenever you have to. We're going to keep answering questions as long as we can here.
I'm gonna slip out because I've got another meeting to jump into. Keep going.
And of course, please write us at support@oliabo.com.
Thank you, everyone. Love you all.
Support@oliabo.com if we don't have a chance to answer your question. I think we'll take another 10 minutes.
And here's a little Italian for you. Tavolio bene. Just a little. I love you. See you. Ciao.
Thanks, Joe. So we'll spend about another 10 minutes answering questions. And yes, we will eventually get this webinar available and accessible. So let's see here. Yeah, eventually we will have sample sizes of Flex available. Right now, we're actually working on what that will look like and how to produce those faster so that we can actually get them into a manufacturing process and provide sample sizes. The qualifier on the quarterly bonus, so the global bonus pool, to qualify for that quarterly bonus, you have to hit the qualification of Premio rank or above all 3 months of that calendar quarter, right? So if one of those months you didn't hit Premio, then you would fall out of that qualification. So you want to make sure that every month when you get up to that Premio rank level that you're always hitting that qualification each of those 3 quarters of that calendar quarter to make sure that you're qualified at the bonus level qualification. Pre-orders, we will be launching pre-orders sometime in the next, we think by November 15th. We'll make sure to give you several days or a week notice on when that actual launch date and time will be. But it will be, we think we're on track to launch with Prima pre-orders and with orders of our high quality culinary extra virgin olive oil. We think that we'll be able to launch pre-orders of those mid-November, November 15th, maybe even a little bit sooner. We're hoping that within the next week we can announce the exact date and time of that. we're buttoning up a few things both on the manufacturing and on the back end ordering processes to make sure that that's all buttoned up so that we can meet that. When will it be possible for you to place your people? So we're working on finishing up the holding tank. The holding tank is basically when you enroll people right now, they go into kind of a holding tank, which just allows them to sit there on your front line. And you will then soon be able to start placing them within your first 3 levels. That's part of the Premio Pay plan, allows you to place your personal enrollments within your first 3 levels. And so that should be done and ready to start using in the next week. And so we're working hard on that right now to get that buttoned up. You can also reach out to us at support@oliabo.com and let us know if you have already in mind where you want to do placements. We can do that for you. So right now, as far as delivery of products, we've put out a list of the different countries that we're looking at being able to open up in sooner than later. As far as open up, meaning shipping from the United States, taking payment, shipping, and then being able to allow you to refer people to our sites and start building a business that way by us taking the orders and shipping those orders from the United States. And that list includes, let me find it here. So these are the ones that we're trying to make sure that we can do this on and that we're feeling fairly confident in. Not 100% yet, but we've got these opened up for enrollments, and that we think maybe not right at launch, but soon thereafter, over the next month or 2, we'll be able to open up these countries for the NFR, not for resale style program. So US, of course, Canada, Mexico, UK, Ireland, France, Germany, Spain, Portugal, Netherlands, Norway, Sweden, South Africa, Australia, New Zealand, the Philippines, and Taiwan. There's others that we're looking at as well. Part of it is that, can we ship there? Yes, we can ship there, but there's other requirements sometimes on the business side, taxes and other types of regulations and requirements that we need to make sure that we're buttoned up on with certain regions and countries to make sure that we're not going off on a situation that can cause problems for us now or down the road. So we're trying to get that buttoned up, but know that those are the areas that we're focused on and targeted on right now. So you can enroll people right now, they can hold a spot, and then we'll start opening that up as quickly as we can for orders. Canada and the US for sure right off the bat, and some of these other ones will be right off the bat as well, and right at launch. But
just to add to what Curtis is talking about too, I've done a lot with international expansion and operations and logistics. And one thing we don't want to do is move into a country before we know that it's going to be able to operate in a very successful way for you guys. Because the moment that we set up a country and start shipping to that country, and then they have issues with receiving products or issues with receiving payment or something with the business side, that's going to create a negative perspective to those individuals in that market. And we don't want that to happen. So I know there's a lot of you that are very eager for all of these different countries to open up, but we want to make sure that we're doing all of our due diligence on our side to make sure that it's super successful from day one.
Thanks, Adam. So it looks like some team members were not able to join the Zoom for some reason. So we will be posting the recent Tuesday call, and this call we'll be posting on our YouTube. I think we can get that done and up probably by tomorrow sometime. And so we'll have these available on YouTube by tomorrow, and we'll make sure that these are available. So yeah, so in general, a reminder, if you go to oliabo.com/launch, we always try to make sure that we're posting the information on how to get access to our corporate side Zooms there each week. So that's where the links are. That's where the information is for each Zoom. So be sure to direct people there for our Tuesday calls. And we'll probably start doing a regular, maybe Thursday like this call for compensation, probably on Thursdays, but we'll let you know for sure if we're going to set that as a regular thing. I think we probably will, though. It seems like it's very helpful. Let's see. Somebody had the question, can I put a builder under a customer? Can I place a builder under a customer? Yes, you can, as long as it's within your first 3 levels. All that would happen is that dynamic compression would look and say, oh, that customer it's a customer, they're not qualified for a payout. It would skip to the next qualified rep and would pay out the commissions up that way. So, for example, if somebody's just coming in and they're like, I don't know if I want to be a brand rep or not, or somebody that you think might want to do that in the future, you could enroll them as a customer. They can start buying product or just kind of be enrolled as a customer there. And then you could start building team underneath them because you think, yeah, they're probably going to get on board here in the next month or two. You could start doing that right now.
Will the back office be translated into other languages? That the one thing about that that's nice with our software company is they do have a toggle switch that you can actually go and change a lot of the language. It's not going to be exactly perfect because it's going to be, a translated version that hasn't been somebody who actually built it out exactly. But it's from what I'm understanding and what we've been told from the developers, it's very accurate as far as using AI softwares and things and gets as close as can be on the translations. But you will have different languages within the back office that you can translate it into.
So sprint payouts will be essentially, it'll be Monday through Sunday is the sprint calculation. And then they'll be calculated Monday and then we'll initiate the payout that following week, right?
Okay, we've got more and more questions just coming in, so I think we should.
There's so many. Yeah, I we appreciate all the questions. We'll try to answer some of these in some additional posts or some other formats. Please be sure to send us more messages at support@oliabo.com if we didn't have a chance to answer your specific question yet. We love all the questions. We love the participation. We're going to do this weekly. We need to do this weekly. We want to make sure that you understand the compensation plan, that you know how to maximize the opportunity, and that you can clearly express that and teach that and train that to your other team members and team leaders. So we'll do this weekly. I think we'll probably set this time as a weekly time, 2 p.m. Mountain Time, US. And we'll solidify that and we'll make sure that gets messaged out there and on the website at oliabo.com/launch. Thank you so much for your participation. We'll get this video buttoned up and posted with the recording in the next day or so. Thank you again. Thank you so much for your time, for your attention, and for being a part of this thing that we call OLIABO.
Absolutely. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.